Hey y'all, welcome back to Adventuring with Amanda. Thank you so much for being here. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Before we get started, be sure to subscribe to my channel and turn on your notifications so you know when I upload. I try to get videos up daily, and of course hit that thumbs up button. We are back to camping on BLM land, and as much as I loved the campground experience, it was good for 2 nights, but that's about it. I am what they like to call a free-range dog mom. So I like Wynston to be able to explore and be off leash and, do dog things rather than be kind of cooped up in a playpen. So it was incredible. But I have some life at camp footage for you, but most importantly in this video, I have an update on how my grandma is doing. So let's get into it. It is a glorious day, high of 71. Some cloud coverage, but it's perfect. It was supposed to be super windy today, but it's not, so I'm happy about that. I have my Yargo out right now charging my Rock Pals, and I spent the morning getting camp cleaned up. I took my shower yesterday, so my bucket is still out, but we had to take down the shower tent yesterday evening because it did get windy. Have my van power solar out as well. Just a reminder, no, I don't have car problems. My hood is up because I keep the light in and the warmth out so critters don't nest in there. I know I say it a lot, but I also get a lot of questions on it. So Winston's in his playpen. We had a play session with his Christmas tree toy earlier. And I think it's probably time for me to start heating up lunch in my Hot Logic now that I have everything looking clean and pristine. I have some news to share with you all about my grandma. If you have been following me over the last couple of months, my grandma, who I'm very close with, I have a very small family. It's just my mom and my brother and my sister and my grandma in my life. And my grandma is my mom's mom. And she lives in Minnesota. And if you've been following me for the last couple of years, you know that she's the grandma I visited. I drove to Minnesota to visit her in 2021 and 2022 over my birthday in July. I took a 6-week road trip both times, and I spent extensive time with my grandma in Minnesota. She and I are very, very close. She is extremely supportive of my van life. She calls me her gypsy woman. She adores Wynston, and she's just a big supporter of me. The women in my life, my grandma and my mom and my sister, they are just my biggest cheerleaders. I'm so blessed and so grateful to have them in my corner. But with that being said, my grandma is 87. She's always been feisty. That's where I get it from. And independent. And my mom visited her in June, and she was doing awesome. And all of a sudden, she had a very quick decline in her health. It began in September, and she was declining very fast, very fast. I was devastated and heartbroken and confused because it came on so quickly. She didn't have a heart attack or a stroke or anything. Doctors couldn't figure it out. There was all this stuff going on, and she all of a sudden had signs of dementia, and it was really, really bad. And when my mom and I started to renovate her trailer in September up in Payson, we FaceTimed with my grandma, and she was just in a state that just broke me. And she didn't know what was going on. She thought my mom was dead. She was crying. She thought she had died. I was literally, that day, I was literally sitting in a corner sobbing, just bawling my eyes out, just devastated. So she went into hospice a couple of weeks ago, and she was taken off her medications, all except for one medication. It's typically what happens when patients go into hospice. They are taken off everything and made comfortable for end of life. Well, somehow, some way, since Thanksgiving, My grandma has had a miraculous turnaround. So miraculous that she got her cell phone back, her iPhone, and she was able to be taken from hospice to my uncle and aunt's house for Thanksgiving. She ate, she was joyful, hung out with the family. And so my mom texted me the other night and she's like, Grandma has her phone back. You should give her a call. And I called her yesterday and she sounded like a new woman. Like she knew who I was. She sounded incredible. She was telling me she put her Christmas tree up. She was asking me about Quartzsite, where I'm going next, how's Wynston, how's my travels. You know, she loves me, she misses me, and she'd love me to come visit her. She was talking about the event coordinator at her memory care unit, which is her independent living where she was. She was on the 3rd floor. Now she's on the 1st floor because she's in memory care. She sounded like all of a sudden she's fine. Like I'm still kind of shocked. And I talked to her just yesterday. I'm still kind of shocked. As you can say, I'm still like at a loss for words because like 2 months ago, my grandma was dying. And now all of a sudden she's telling me that she put her Christmas tree up and she was telling me about her lunch and what she's up to. And I'm like, what is happening? So I didn't mean for this portion of the video to be so long, but many of you know how close I am with my grandma and how difficult it's been and how I've been like grieving. And yesterday when I spoke to her on the phone, I was sitting in a parking lot and I was shaking. I was shaking like with happiness and I couldn't drive. Like I needed 10 minutes to process everything that just happened and everything I just heard. So I think that, and I don't want to go down the medical rabbit hole and all this stuff, but I understand there's a time and a place for Western medicine. But I also believe that big pharma in this country is extremely flawed and the healthcare system has just so many issues. And I think that there's something to be said for her coming off all these medications, getting outside and getting some sunshine, going to see her family, that almost in a way was a natural treatment for her. That's just my personal theory. And like I said, I don't want to go down a rabbit hole on it, but I just think it's very fascinating what happened. I thought I was going to maybe have to go back to Minnesota for a funeral this Christmas. And instead, she's talking about next summer and maybe I can take a road trip out to visit her. And this is the best early Christmas present I ever could have asked for. I'm beside myself with happiness and gratitude. And I got to talk to my grandma and she sounded incredible. And, you know, I don't know. How long is it going to last? I don't know. Is she going to keep getting better? I don't know. I have no idea what the future holds, but I am so grateful for that phone call. And I'm also very grateful for everybody who's been sending, you know, their prayers and their energy and their kind words to me, whether it's here on YouTube or in our Facebook group. So thank you. And again, I didn't mean for this portion to be so long, but it's very important to me. And I wanted to share with you all what's going on with her. I'm sitting inside my van right now, and this is some stuff that I don't really show you. So I cleaned up earlier, but I was just doing some work on my laptop, and I'm using my Vitomin to charge a bunch of stuff. So I'm charging my vacuum, my external hotspot, my tablet, and this is the CD case where I keep all of my cords. And then right now I figured I'm going to use my lint roller to clean on the sides of my bed. Yeah, so this is kind of like miscellaneous stuff that I do when I'm just chilling, and I'm gonna get back on my laptop shortly after I get a video uploaded. But Maddie is riding his e-bike right now, and the weather is it's amazing. It's amazing. You can see the breeze has picked up just a little bit, but it's refreshing. Oh my God, he doesn't have a helmet on. Oh my God. Oh, I've said it before. This is why women live longer than men. Oh my word. He makes me so nervous. Wow, that's a good job. Let me see your nose. Yeah. Let me see your nose. Look at Mom. Can I see your nose? Oh my. Let me look at Mom. We gotta wipe it off. Do we gotta wipe it off? What? Yeah, we gotta get that wiped off. After camping, Maddie came to my home base and he finally put together my Hovsco e-bike that Hovsco sent me back in June. And although I have gotten lots of requests to do e-bike reviews in the last year, especially from companies, I've always turned them down because I just don't have a way to travel with the e-bike. So I won't be traveling with it because, as you can see, it's like half the length of my van and it's too big to fit inside and I don't have a back rack. But I love the bike. I will be keeping it in my garage so I can ride it at least 30 minutes a day or up to the store when I'm at my home base. So I appreciate Hovsco sending me the bike with no obligation to review it. And I thank Maddie for putting it together for me. With all of that being said and all of those updates, I will wrap up this video for today, but I have officially decided on 2024 Adventuring with Amanda meetup dates coming soon, so be on the lookout for that. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch, and me and Wynston will see you next time.